Latest developments. More than 50 people were killed in the Israeli bombing of Al-Maghazi refugee camp in central Gaza and the Jabalia camp in the enclave's north. Hamas's military wing Qassam Brigade said its fighters killed 5 more Israeli soldiers in northern Gaza during intense fighting on Saturday. In a statement, it said Qassam forces attacked a Zionist force holed up in a building northwest of Gaza City. The Israeli army has once again given civilians in the Gaza Strip a time window for Sunday to flee to the south of the coastal region. Traffic would be allowed on a southbound road between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 8 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time and 12 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, on Sunday, an Israeli army spokesperson wrote on the X platform, formerly Twitter, on Saturday evening. The army also published a map showing the designated road. Qassam Brigade said on Saturday more than 60 hostages are missing after the latest Israeli air strikes on Gaza. Abu Obaida, spokesperson for the brigades, also said on Hamas's Telegram account that 23 bodies of Israeli hostages were trapped under the rubble. Many demonstrations continued to be held across the globe in support of Palestinians. Large protests were organized in Washington, London, Paris, Berlin and elsewhere on Saturday and Sunday. Demonstrators also rallied inside Israel, including outside Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's home, to call for the release of captives in Gaza and for the Prime Minister to resign. Abbas calls for immediate ceasefire. In a meeting which lasted less than an hour, Palestinian President Abbas told Blinken that there must be an immediate ceasefire and humanitarian aid should be allowed to enter the Gaza Strip, Abbas's spokesperson Nabil Abu Radena told Reuters. The meeting between Blinken and Abbas lasted less than an hour. There were no statements at the end of the meeting from either side. Blinken is already off to his next destination, Turkey. What we know is Abbas would have asked for a ceasefire like other Arab leaders have already asked. But Blinken has rebuffed these requests and would have done the same with Abbas. What Blinken has said is that he's called for a humanitarian pause. But we know he's not been able to persuade the Israelis to allow that. Israeli minister slammed for saying dropping nuclear bomb on Gaza an option. An Israeli minister has been criticized after he said Israel could drop a nuclear bomb on Gaza. Speaking to Radio Kol Barama, Heritage Minister Amichai Eliyahu of the far-right Otzma Yehudit Party also said he would favor the return of settlements in the besieged enclave while suggesting Palestinians in Gaza move to Ireland or deserts. PM Netanyahu and opposition leader Lapid slammed Amichai for his comments. Amichai Eliyahu's words are detached from reality, Netanyahu said. Israel and the military are acting in accordance with the highest standards of international law in order to prevent harm to uninvolved people, and we will continue to do that all the way to victory. The remarks come as pressure on Israel to reduce civilian casualties in Gaza is mounting. So far, more than 9,400 Palestinians have been killed, the majority of them civilians, in the besieged strip since October 7. Palestine condemns Israeli minister's nuclear bomb comments. Palestine's foreign ministry has condemned an Israeli minister's comments where he called for dropping a nuclear bomb on Gaza. These remarks are a translation of the genocidal war that Israel has been waging against the Gaza Strip for 30 days, the ministry said in a statement. Israeli media reported that Eliyahu has been suspended from government meetings indefinitely, citing a statement by the PM's office. Thousands take part in Islamabad's pro-Palestine protest. There are busloads of people arriving and marching into Pakistan's capital Islamabad in solidarity with the people of Palestine. The demonstrators are demanding that leaders of the Islamic states do more by action rather than just words to help Palestinians in Gaza. Security forces are also out in large numbers. The Red Zone in Islamabad, which houses the parliament, the U.S. Embassy and other sensitive buildings, has been cordoned off. War on Gaza to cost Israel $51 billion, report. Israel's war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip will cost as much as 200 billion shekels, $51 billion, the Israeli business newspaper Calculist reports, citing preliminary finance ministry figures. The report said the estimate, equal to 10% of the GDP, was premised on the war lasting between 8 to 12 months, being limited to Gaza without full participation by Hezbollah, Iran or Yemen, and on some 350,000 Israelis drafted as military reservists returning to work soon. Calculus described the ministry as deeming 200 billion shekels an optimistic estimate. But the ministry said it does not stand by Calculust's data. Recap. It's just after 12 p.m. in the occupied Palestinian territory and Israel, 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time. If you're just joining us, here's a recap of the latest developments. More than 30 people killed in the Israeli bombing of refugee camp in central Gaza. At least 46 Palestinians arrested in the occupied West Bank as Israeli raids intensify across the region overnight. A meeting between U.S. Secretary of State Blinken and Palestinian President Abbas is underway in Ramallah, occupied West Bank. Blinken is expected to visit Turkey, where protesters have rallied outside a U.S. base. Protests have been held around the world in support of Palestine on Saturday and Sunday. Keep watching us for more videos. Subscribe and follow us. Click the like button and let me know your views in the comments section. Thank you and have a nice day.